This is the video that is about to sack Bwala. This interview that he granted. Just watch.
11,000 people were killed in conflict in Nigeria in 2025. That is up from 8,700 in 2023. That is a 26% increase in the number of Nigerians killed since your party and your president came to office. That's a pretty awful record.
It's awful. It's unfortunate, and as a government,
and it's getting worse.
We're working day and night
and it's
to deal
getting
with
worse.
that situation. I don't agree to the fact that it's getting worse.
How can it not get worse if more people die in 1 year than the previous year?
Context matters.
What's the context?
The context is not getting worse.
What?
Yes.
The context is not getting worse.
I say, how can you prove that just because a bullion van goes into a person's house and comes out that there is money inside?
Maybe because people said it was vote buying by Tinubu. Tinubu himself said, I gave money to the people. You know he said that?
Yes, I also give money
when
to
you give money to
myself.
people would say that's vote buying. Politicians, rich politicians give people.
No, he doesn't
money.
give money to people on election day, but he helps people.
But people at the time said it was vote buying. Do you agree with that?
Who are the people?
You said,
No, I never said
ostensibly,
that.
I can't believe you still keep walking into this. You said it was done ostensibly for vote buying. Do you agree with Daniel Bwala or not? Please don't lift up a glass of water.
That was one of the highlights of the interview that Daniel Bwala, presidential media aide, had with Mehdi Hassan head-to-head on Al-Jazeera. It's been an ostentatiously ridiculous day to be in Nigeria. It's been embarrassing. We've been seen as being inconsistent, being liars, being unserious, being uncommitted, and a lot of the times being propagandists. Daniel Bala did not do any form of justice or service to the image of Nigeria, even though he's being paid to do that, because it was embarrassing to watch him. A lot of videos, the timelines are quite choking, and at some point, Mehdi had to go laughing. It's that bad. And the audience, it was a live show, and the audience kept laughing. As serious as the conversation, because Daniel Bala could not keep up with the pace. I'll let you see some of the videos, right? Quite segmented to several things. Spoke about insecurity, spoke about the Bala Tinubu's track record of corruption, massive looting going on. A lot of times they also had prepared enough to ask Daniel Bala some questions that he's tried to run away from the Nigerian media. I'll let you see the rest of the video, and then if we've got some time, we'll talk more about it. But disclaimer, it was embarrassing to watch. Very embarrassing.
At the camp, that enclave, where they gather.
Are you okay with having the Americans bomb Nigerian people's homes?
I'm not aware of that one.
You're not aware of Morenike Saka, who said, I began to scream for help. I had to crawl my way out of the room. The missile tore through her apartment building, according to the Washington Post. How about Musa Soliu? I was in my room. I was buried under the ruins. I don't know how to restart my life. My belongings are destroyed.
Houses were not destroyed.
Are you telling us that Nigerian citizens are lying about being bombed by the US?
I am saying that the military operation that was conducted on that day was targeted as terrorists, and we hit them.
You have a history of not hitting terrorists and hitting civilians. You know that, right? Your country.
I'm not aware.
Oh, well, on December 21st, the Nigerian Air Force said that they handed over compensation to people who were hit in an accidental airstrike on Christmas Day 2024. Do you just bomb every Christmas?
When and when?
Christmas Day 2024 and Christmas Day 2025.
I dispute that fact.
We'll take it up with the Nigerian Air Force. Let me ask you this. Since President Tinubu came to office in 2023, the situation has worsened in your country. You have a mixture of militant groups, you have bandits, you have clashes between herders and farmers.
We also have
Nigeria is now
of foreign interest in Nigeria.
Nigeria is now the 5th deadliest country in the world. Are you proud of that record?
I acknowledge the fact that we have insecurity in Nigeria, and until the hoax narrative of the Christian genocide, then we began to see back-to-back attack in Nigeria. We had, for the first 2 years of the president's administration, a substantial peace in Nigeria.
Actually, the number of deaths went up on the president's watch.
After this incident of a Christian genocide. And by the way,
when did that begin?
There is no country of the world today that is free from insecurity.
No,
there
I
are
agree.
parts of London
you
can't go in the evening.
Okay, but we're not bombing London to root out militant training camps.
But you have had so many of the bombing on behalf of the United Kingdom by the United States.
Since you're making rather spurious comparisons.
No, the context
11,000 people were killed in conflict in Nigeria in 2025. That is up from 8,700 in 2023. That is a 26% increase in the number of Nigerians killed since your party and your president came to office. That's a pretty awful record.
It's awful. And we're fighting hard day and night. That's one of the reasons why the president traveled to Turkey, where we had bilateral agreement to deal with insecurity. That's why we're cooperating with the United States of America. That's why we're cooperating with any country of the world. The reason is because since 9/11, terrorism is a global phenomenon.
Agreed.
And so every country is involved in it.
But it's getting worse in Nigeria. That's the problem.
I can't say it is getting worse.
You just agreed with me when I gave you the numbers.
No, I
8,700 killed in 2023,
right.
11,000 killed in 2025. That's getting worse.
How many people were killed in the United States last year?
In conflict-related violence, probably.
So this is not a conflict. This is an act of terrorism.
Okay. So how many people were killed in the United States in terrorism? It wasn't 11,000.
This is part of what Donald Trump many years ago in his first time classified the Western media as fake news. The reason is because context matter.
This is not Western media.
You are well aware.
This is not Western media.
Yes, I understand. But
this is the Armed Conflict Location and Event Data, ACLED, the most respected group that counts conflict-related violence around the world.
Let me ask you, where there is a terrorist
attack, I can also give you another source.
Conflict?
I mean, National Human Rights Commission. This is a Nigerian group. 2,266 people were killed by bandits or insurgents in the first half of 2025. That's more than were killed in all of of 2024. You are failing. Amnesty International says you are failing at security. The numbers don't lie.
It's unfortunate, and as a government,
and it's getting worse.
We're working day and night
and it's
to deal
getting
with
worse.
that situation. I don't agree to the fact that it's getting worse.
How can it not get worse if more people die in 1 year than the previous year?
Context matters.
What's the context?
The context is not getting worse.
What?
Yes.
The context is not getting worse?
The context is that it is not getting worse because you see, this is a water, right?
Okay.
If you have the water half, you could say half glass filled or half empty.
Yeah.
Isn't it right?
Yeah.
So the Western media always see Nigeria, Africa, and some of the activities in Africa as half empty. Excuse me. But we see it as half full because when we look at it, and when I say context matter, before the president took the oath of office, we knew the situation in Nigeria.
And you made it worse.
When he made the decision to take bold step to put Nigeria in better trajectory, we were well aware of the context.
11,000 people were killed in conflict in Nigeria in 2025. That is up from 8,700 in 2020.
So still on the interview that Bwala had on the Al-Jazeera with the Al-Jazeera news anchor, Mehdi Hassan, is very awful, and that actually brought disgrace to the ruling party. Let me not say to Nigeria, to the ruling party, because both Tinubu and Bwala it has proven that the kind of people that Tinubu brought into his cabinet are people who will continue to fabricate lies and deny the fact to be able to remain in power. Okay, and in this area now they were talking about the number of people that have died between 2024 and 2025, or that have died between 2024 and 2025, and Daniel Bwala is denying it, and they say it's about 23% higher between 2023 and 2024 and 2025 since the Tinubu got into power, and this guy was denying it. They also brought the issue of bullion van, and they put it to Daniel Bwala that even Tinubu himself said he gives money to people. But then Bwala is saying, how can you prove that the bullion van that came out of somebody's compound was carrying money? And even if Tinubu said he gives people money, anybody gives anybody money. He was just defending things that cannot be defended without facts. Quite unfortunate. Exactly. So now that, the money, the issue of bullion van of Tinubu out of his house, it's not a new story. It was for vote buying. And even Daniel Bwala said in the media that it was ostensibly for vote buying. And now they put that to him. He raised his hand, was short of words. And that was when the interviewer Hassan said, it is you, don't raise a glass of water. Don't raise your hand as if you are picking a glass of water. That is it, because he was confused, he was short of words. And we could hear the audience laughing at that moment, because everything they were asking this guy, he wasn't answering anything. And this section of the interview actually had to do with the number of people that that have been fired between 2023 and 2025. He couldn't answer any question there. The issue of bullion van and vote buying, he was denying it. Quite unfortunate from Daniel Bwala, I tell you the truth. And I'll tell you that a lot of people will be disappointed to see Daniel Bwala, who is a presidential spokesperson by position, who should actually say things that the world wants to hear about the country, did not have anything to say. Quite unfortunate for him. So the interview ended, and he didn't have, it was shameful. The whole Nigerians actually were all ashamed that outing was in that manner. Well, we're not also ashamed, it's APC shame and Tinubu's government shame, to be frank, because they are the people messing up this country, and they are the people that are not able to answer the questions concerning their own administration. Again, I say, if it is Sani Rufai that was asking him questions now, they will say he's rude. Sani Rufai is rude. He's not a journalist. He's not a seasoned journalist. He read agriculture. Let him go and go back to farm. They will say this is that. Because Sani Rufai will say, I put it to you that you said it, and this is the record. And then when he catches up with them, they will begin to say it's rude. But now a foreigner is asking him that question, then Bwala could not tell the man that he was rude. Quite unfortunate. And I know that definitely Sani will dissect this interview very soon. So it's quite unfortunate that Bwala went out to a place like Al-Jazeera Center and could not really defend all the statements he made against APC and Tinubu when he was in opposition, and all of those things are happening now, and is denying all of them. Quite unfortunate. So let's have your comment at the end of this video, and thank you for listening.